As far back as I can remember, to the age of 6 or 7, I've witnessed my mom going through domestic violence. I would see my mom with black eyes and broken noses, and it was very hard to see the faces of my brothers and my sister. You know, watching that, I felt helpless because I couldn't do anything to change what was going on with her. After I graduated high school, you know, I had certain relationships where I had the black eyes and the broken noses, and I was stabbed a few times and ran over with a car. It was easier to accept things with the abuse as they were because I had seen so much of it as a child. What brought me to Women's Advocates is a fight with my husband, who had hit me in the eye and broken my nose. When he punched me and was starting to choke me, he told me that that was going to be the last time I saw my children. And when I saw my son have my other son by the throat, that was the end of it. I had to change it. And so I called Women's Advocates and, you know, explained my situation to them and tell them I didn't have any family, no relatives, no friends up here. I had nowhere to go. And they sent a cab for me and my children. From that point on, I was at the shelter.
The work of Women's Advocates is to help break the cycle of violence. It is a process. It begins when a woman and her children leave the abuser and walk in our shelter door. Women's Advocates provides them safety. They find hope and learn how to make a new life free of abuse. Breaking the cycle of violence requires respect. It requires love and patience and new life skills. The way most women find their way to Women's Advocates is through the 24-hour crisis line. It is the lifeline of the community. One-on-one support by an advocate is often the first time a woman has someone to hear her story. It is a stepping stone to a new life, whether that means getting a job, securing health care for her children, or finding legal support. With the help of the Title I School Enrollment Program, children at Women's Advocates are enrolled in school within 3 days of entering the shelter.
One of the services women receive when they come into the shelter is mental health support. In our parent-child communication group, we help strengthen the bond between mother and child. We also provide an opportunity where women have the chance to communicate in a healthy way with their children, and we provide tools, strategies, and activities to promote healthy communication.
Support groups are also an important part of the healing process for women. They can learn to find strength they might not know they had, and hope they might not have believed was possible.
Children's program provides childcare and age-appropriate activities for the kids while their moms are working with their advocates or in their educational or support groups. We work with the kids to just let them be kids, let them have fun. We give them lots of nurturing, love, and care. In Children's Support Group, we work with the kids living at the shelter who are age 5 and up. We work on safety plans where we talk about calling 911, where they can go if they're in a dangerous situation, and who they can talk to about things that are going on. We also talk about feelings, we talk about fears, and we also talk about dreams they have for themselves and their families.
Having a job is essential to building and maintaining a new life. Advocates help residents take the necessary steps, write resumes, prepare for interviews, and arrange transportation. The work of breaking a cycle of violence does not stop when a woman leaves the shelter. Women's Advocates' aftercare program addresses the needs of women in this new phase of their lives.
When women are ready to leave the shelter and they've found their own housing, we then come in as an aftercare and we give them the support and the stabilization to identify with their community. Aftercare is really important because the support is so tremendous in the shelter, and once they leave, they can sometimes feel alone. Aftercare teaches a new mindset. It's giving them the tools necessary to make it in their community, through employment, enrolling the children in school, transportation, learning their neighborhood, and just learning how to be with self.
Mental health support is extremely important once the women leave the shelter. It's about helping them maintain and also going deeper so they don't end up back in the shelter. Sometimes we meet at their homes and sometimes we meet at the library. And what's different about the service is that it's not only a service provided at the shelter, but they're seeking it out and they're choosing to get better.
The transition for the women and their families into aftercare, it's a new beginning. It's a new sense of freedom. It's a new sense of life. It's a rebirthing for them.
I've just graduated with a diploma for medical insurance billing and coding and was awarded to speak at graduation to inspire those in the audience, and it was such a great honor. It was a process. It was a hard process, but well worth it at the end. I would study coming to and from school on the city bus. I would study at the library. I did graduate college with a 4.0 GPA. I came to know that there is another life out there, and I have found that life. I have my own place now. My children are 100% different than what they were. They are very well behaved, well mannered, doing excellent in school. I'm proud to see my children wake up with a smile on their face and know they're secure and their stability and consistency about the routine in our household. They know what to expect and they know what's expected of them. And so I'm proud to say that I can stand on my own 2 feet now. But even to know when you get out on your own that there's always someone there that you can still talk to or reach out to when times get hard and get that help if you need it. When I have a problem or I need help, Erin's my go-to girl. She's there for me. To see my kids graduate high school and then go on to college would be my ultimate dream. I want to teach my children how to treat other adults, especially women in their lives. I teach them respect and love and honor, and how I treat them is how I would expect them to treat somebody else. To know just a year ago, I was in a shelter, and just to look back and see where I came from and how far I have came in my life, I feel great. I feel great as a mother. I feel great as a woman. I'm just absolutely on top of the world right now.